Hey guys, it's Chandler and welcome back to North Texas Now, where we're highlighting fearless women here in the DFW Metroplex. From fashion to food to traveling, blogger sensation Busy Being Shasha is here to tell us how blogging is her lifestyle. Thanks so much for joining us, Sasha.
You're welcome.
Okay, so my first question for you is, what made you get into blogging?
So I randomly got into vlogging. So about 2 years ago, I was working on my BA and I was in a social media class and we were tasked with creating a blog. And initially just going into the assignment, I just thought, I'm not gonna get anything out of this. Like there are just so many bloggers, the blogosphere is like already packed while we're doing this. So around the time of my third blog post, I really just realized that I love writing and just the blog was such a great creative outlet. And I felt like I should just keep it going. So after finishing the class and around that time I was nearing towards graduation, I just thought I'd kind of keep the blog around and maybe use it as a way to just house my portfolio for potential employers. And then I thought, you know what, let me just really take the time to rebrand Busy Being Shasha and just use it as a platform to just motivate, educate, and inspire people really just to get out and explore. And it was kind of just born from that, really.
So if you had any advice for anyone who wanted to jump into the blogging world, what would you tell them?
Wow, so I would definitely say know your worth and know your why. So blogging becomes so exhausting sometimes and just constantly having to create content. And there are just gonna be moments where it just gets tough and you have to just constantly remind yourself, why did you get started? Why are you doing this? What is the end goal? And also know your worth. Because as a blogger, it can be very tempting to do things for free. And of course, you always have to get your start somewhere, but just always remind yourself of your worth and make brands aware of that. And definitely invest in your photos. So I always think that content is key. So I would tell anyone that's just starting, you don't necessarily need a digital camera to start, but if you're gonna take pictures on your phone, make sure you're editing them and really invest. And if you can get a photographer for shoots, do it, but just invest in your brand. It definitely helps.
So has there been any challenges on social media or anything that being a Black woman who's a blogger at the same time?
Definitely. As you'll look on social media lately, you'll just see so much pushback on brands and just a lack of diversity and inclusion. And especially, being a woman of color, you can just feel like, maybe certain opportunities won't necessarily be open to you, especially if you look at, some brands pages and you see a lack of diversity. So I definitely feel like as a woman of color in the blogosphere, I have to just push harder, especially when it comes to my photos and my content, and really make an effort that I feel like to work with brands that are gonna align with me and that they wanna hear the stories of Black women. They are comfortable with my melanin and all the Black girl magic that I'm gonna bring. So I feel like I always want to work with those brands that they appreciate diversity and inclusion for sure.
Absolutely, that's powerful. As a matter of fact, we all know of the big Me Too movement that just happened, and so many women have come together as a community to try to advocate for this and change everything that it is about. And I know with your Comp Camp, you said that a lot of bloggers united. Did y'all ever come up with some kind of idea on how y'all would, incorporate yourselves into the Me Too movement, or were y'all ever thinking about that?
So we actually never considered that since Comp Camp started before that. And I've always been a firm believer before any of the Me Too and Time's Up and all these movements that came up, that the future has always been female and that we have just been steadily moving towards that. If you look on some of my pictures on Instagram, there's actually a frame in my office that says the future is female, because it's always a reminder to me to work harder, to look for ways where I can empower my fellow bloggers that are female, hustlers, content creators, and that we can all collaborate and work together and do that. And there are really just even some great organizations and just communities, even here in Dallas, like Black Girls Who Collaborate, that they're constantly getting women together, Boss Women Who Brunch, Because Women Love Brunch, just so many other different movements that are just bringing women together and, just helping just everyone to see the future is female. It's been going that way. Ain't nothing stopping that. So we're going to keep on keeping on and riding with it.
Right. Oh my gosh, the future is totally female.
Yes.
And I'm steady preaching that on
my
social media campaigns or platforms, because people need to understand that, look, we're what you need at this point.
Okay, we ain't going nowhere.
We're not. So I'm so inspired and I'm so fulfilled that you agreed to be here and tell us your story as a blogger. And I know y'all need to stay tuned with her. Whether you want to post about food or fashion, you need to follow her at
I got you. Busy Being Shasha.
And she'll have it there for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I had such a great time with Busy Being Shasha. She has inspired me in my industry, and she's also inspired me to want to be a blogger as well. Hopefully I can be as successful as her. But don't go anywhere. We have more Girl Bosses coming up next.